What's good? What's good? Good morning. It's Saturday. I'm doing laundry and I am really bad about putting myself out there. And I'm really bad about trying to, actually do something with my life, even though I complain that I'm not doing anything with my life. And so this is me attempting to get out there and be better. I'm trying to get the attention of Ian Carroll. He's a fellow Washington boy who is very awake and hip to what is going on. He does, media stuff, but he's more of like a journalist type of person. He uncovers stories, connects dots, educates, etc. But he has a company, Cancel This Clothing Company, and I'm not passionate about clothing, and so when I make these shirts and try to do all of this, it's uh, I need to be better, and I realize also I can't do this alone, and so I need help. And so if you by chance see this and you know Ian, I would love to just put my shirt or some shirts on his website and we can work together because I don't have a platform, I don't have a voice, and it would really help. And so this new shirt alert, as in the title, I have had this shirt idea for a long time, but um, just yeah, try. I couldn't hire anyone to do it, like from a mainstream like Fiverr, but I did try to hire people within the conscious community, but nobody really wanted the work. So I just designed the shirt myself. AI has made it really easy to be a creative type of person. So this is my current store, No Division. I've got a few different shirts. Um, Shout out to the original, just No Division. That's the ultimate objective, is to stop the ruling class from dividing us as the general population of humanity. But I think I saw somebody hop in. Oh, they may have hopped off. I was going to say hi, but let's go back. Okay. So I designed this shirt, and it's a spicy, spicy, spicy shirt. I would give props to anyone who would wear it in public. I would buy it for someone if I could afford to, but I am a nobody, and I accept that, and it's totally fine. But yeah, let's get into the shirt, the new one. I call it the PsyOps Special. So and this is like all I'm really proud of this. I'm generally not super proud of a lot of things I do. I'm happy or confident or content, but with a lot of my work, and that's a good place to be. Pride, too much pride is a very bad thing, and so I try to moderate how much pride I allow myself to feel. But this shirt, oh my gosh, I'm really proud of how it turned out and how it just came together. It is okay, no viewers. I was hoping somebody would stop by. I could, show their comment like that and we could interact. Oh, there is a viewer in the comments. Hey, what up? It tells me there's a viewer. Tell me who you are. Post a comment. I want to share it on the screen. Um, oh, you're gone. Okay, let's just get back to the shirt. Let's see. What can you see? This is my screen I'm sharing. So you can see the overall general shirt of it. This text is easy to see, but I'll highlight it. Not everything's a psyop. But this text, it's a little harder to see. You got to get in closer. But most things are, with a caricature cartoon George Bush, and I love how all of this came together, just everything, like down to the way I was able to crop out the background from the bush image and just make all of this work. I'm not a creative person, I'm more of, I would say, an analytical person. And so anyways, let me just talk about the shirt. um, if you're hip and awake and aware, you already know, you don't really need to have this shirt explained. But if you were to wear this in public, it would draw a lot of attention because this is a very sort of iconic image that's gonna draw people in. The Twin Towers being blown up in flames. Does jet fuel burn steel beams? Let me ask you that. But anyways, getting sidetracked, but not. Um, Not everything is a psyop, meaning there are some legitimate bad things that happen in the world. However, but most things are the fact that our government, our ruling classes, our elites are actually behind a lot of the bad things that happen in the world. And so there are some organic, you could say, I don't even want to say atrocities, but just like, natural disasters that aren't man-made because we do have the ability to manipulate weather and whatnot. But some natural disasters are just legitimately chances of randomness in nature coming together. But also some natural disasters are created by our government. And I would say, and this is the central point of the shirt, is to raise awareness to the fact that our government is the behind a majority of the bad shit that happens in our world. A psychological operation is essentially um, an exercise to manipulate you in your brain and how you perceive reality. Um, so for example, this shirt, there's a whole bunch of memes and jokes around the idea that 9/11 was an inside job, meaning certain people knew about it, certain people coordinated it to happen, and it was overall a distraction from trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that had been lost, but then also a justification to go wage war and make money for military contractors and defense contractors and all of these people's friends and these people who do not actually care about humanity. And so this shirt is triggering on a lot of levels because it's not just, reminding people of what happened on that day when I don't know what the death toll was. Was it like thousands? Was it like 3,000? I don't know. A lot of people died. And then also the aftermath, the first responders who developed various cancers and shit, like so many people were affected by that. And then the Patriot Act and the surveillance state that followed, and then the war in the Middle East, and it was really sort of an impetus for a lot of things. Kind of like another psyop that we more recently just went through. We call it the pandemic, the fake plague, whatever. It's the ruling classes using psychological and literal and biological warfare against the masses to further their aims and their goals of consolidating power and resources. It is that simple at a high conceptual level. I acknowledge that. But it is more complex in how it's actually um, implemented. And then also we could get, more into the speech spiritual layers, which I am not super knowledgeable on. I'm open minded to them. So, like this concept of the demi urge, super fascinating to me. But I'm not gonna say it's true or not. Like you don't need to have that spiritual knowledge to just be able to see evil and see systems and structures of power and how they have been manipulating, exploiting, and oppressing us for millennia, for thousands of years. This is nothing new under the sun. This is a tale as old as time. People in power use said power to get them more power and more resources. It's a human thing. It's really a human thing, I think, in terms of elevating, when we talk about elevating our collective consciousness, it's elevating it to a point where people no longer see these power structures as necessary because they have developed their own sense of sovereignty, agency, their own sense of power and control over themselves. People who are evil and malicious and seeking to take control to be to take control of the world. I'm thinking of people like, Klaus Schwab or Bill Gates or George Soros. We could throw Donald Trump in there. I was trying to think of like a Republican, but yeah, Donald Trump can definitely go in there. Trump's an interesting character in that in some ways he has a lot of control over himself. For example, he doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs. I find that really fascinating. But he's also an adulterer, and he probably has other um, not fallacies. He's fallible in other ways. There we go. But people who do not have control over themselves are often going to want to try and control other people, because if you had control of yourself and your desire to control other people, there it's paradoxical in that sense, and that if you are enlightened, if you are awake and aware, evolved. Let's use the word evolved because that's a more sciencey word. If you are psychologically evolved, you are not going to want to pursue power over another being. And so and it's cool too because we can even just leave it at the psychological level. I like to think I live in like the sort of the material and the spiritual world. I have one foot in each and I love it, but I know more about material philosophy, I would say. And psychology sort of falls more in the realm of material philosophy, but it also falls in the realm of spirituality. I'm just rambling at this point. I just wanted to get this video out. If anybody knows Ian Carroll, send him my contact. You saw this video, so you'll see my links and stuff. It would be greatly appreciated because I need some help and I'm not ashamed to ask. So thank you very much. Much love, y'all.